All right, turning now to the latest in D.C. President Biden lays out his plan to fight inflation as he faces dismal approval ratings. For more on this, let's bring in Yahoo Finance senior columnist Rick Newman. Here in the flesh, Rick Newman.
What's up, guys?
Good to see you, brother.
Hey.
So maybe you can answer this question for me. How does raising taxes on wealthy individuals and corporations help bring down inflation as implied in this op-ed?
I guess it would do it through deficit reduction. This is where Biden has gotten religion on this recently. This may have a little something to do with Joe Manchin, the Democratic senator from West Virginia, who says he's only going to agree to some kind of Biden legislation for all that, some of that Build Back Better stuff, if there's some deficit reduction in there. So that might be a pitch to Manchin. I'm not sure that would make all that much of a difference on inflation either. And, Biden is stuck because the president just can't do very much to get inflation down.
It seemed like this had a lot of kind of talking points, quite frankly, from the president. You brought this up earlier. It was kind of short on solutions and actually putting those on the table and more so just saying, I'm willing to speak with everybody. But
Right.
We've heard that before.
Yeah, there's nothing new in what Biden laid out today in this Wall Street Journal op-ed. I mean, his number one way to fight inflation, he said today, is let the Federal Reserve do its job. I mean, that's not a presidential policy. But I think what's likely to happen here is this is probably the beginning of a new messaging effort out of the White House. Obviously, the midterm elections are coming up. Democrats are in bad shape, almost entirely because of inflation. And Biden, I think, correctly assesses that he's not getting much credit for the things that are good in the economy. And so he started this op-ed, and I think we're going to hear repetitive talking points on this. Look, the job market is strong, consumers are in good shape. We've had a great improvement since I took office. That's true. I don't think it's because of Biden's policies. I think it's because the recovery was already underway and he had lucky timing. But he's trying to get credit for some of the things that are going right while telling people he's got a plan for inflation, even though I'm not sure it's much of a plan.
Well, Rick, isn't that really a bad message for the administration where you have the president essentially coming out in an op-ed saying, we want the economy to grow slower?
Guess why?
He said it.
So he did say that, essentially. And guess what? So does the Federal Reserve want the economy to go slower, right? The Fed is putting on the brakes. That's what's going on. So I think they're sussing out that, for example, we're going to see lower job creation numbers. We're not going to see we're not going to be losing jobs, but job creation is probably going to slow. And they're trying to get ahead of that and say, that's what we want to happen.
That's a good thing.
That's right. So when the job report comes out on Friday, and instead of 500,000 new jobs, let's say it's 200,000 new jobs, some analysts are going to say, oh, my God, this is another sign of recession. Biden wants to say, no, we saw it coming. We're ready for this. This is what's supposed to be happening.
We also saw personal consumption expenditures that rose by 6.3% last month, particularly here. That is way higher than the Fed's, 2% target. Right. And so at the end of the day, households right now, we are knowing, and we're seeing this in the data, them tapping into savings at a time where gas prices are extremely high. I had to fill up a rental tank, and I couldn't even tell you the last time I had paid that much in gas. And that's what a lot of American consumers are going to be going to the polls with, perhaps, at least in one part of their mind, in the multifaceted approach that they go to the polls with.
I can answer that question for you. You've never paid that much to fill up a tank. It's because gas has never been this expensive. It has been more expensive when you adjust for inflation, but, I'm looking at $4.70. I think gas prices are going to go over $5 a gallon on an average nationally, and I think that is disaster for Biden. Everything else can be going great. And if gas prices are way too high, I mean, nobody cares about anything when gas prices are high. It just blocks out the sun. We see the price everywhere. The numbers are this big. Yeah. You see them on every corner, and it's a reminder that something's wrong.
It's true. Well, I hope you're sitting next to me on the 9th floor because we have to talk more about this op-ed.
Yeah,
good to see you.
Let's do it.
All right, Rick Newman, thanks so much.